What does life actually look like when money stops being a limit? Not rich, not comfortable, untouchable. Donald Trump's wife Melania Trump exists in a world most people never even get close to seeing. Private residences valued in the hundreds of millions, couture wardrobes that travel across continents, and income streams designed to operate without pause. And that leads to the real question most people never ask. What does extreme wealth feel like in daily life? Not in headlines, but behind closed doors? Before we break it down, take a second to like the video, subscribe to Zenith, and comment "Limitless" if you're watching this all the way through. We're starting where power becomes visible first, where she lives and how she moves. When you're Melania Trump, the First Lady of the United States, you don't have a home. That concept is too small. At her level, life is split between multiple residences, each chosen for a different purpose, a different season, a different kind of power. These aren't houses, they're strategic locations, places designed to match status, privacy, and influence. The Trump family rotates between 3 primary residences, and every single one exists on a scale so far beyond normal life that most people will never even get close to the front gate. The centerpiece is Mar-a-Lago, the crown jewel of the Trump real estate empire, a 126-room mansion valued in the hundreds of millions, sitting on roughly 20 acres of elite Palm Beach coastline. This isn't luxury for comfort, it's luxury as a statement. Dozens of bedrooms, massive entertaining spaces, grand dining rooms built for power players, and amenities designed to impress people who are already impossible to impress. It's less a residence and more a modern palace, and yet, as dominant as Mar-a-Lago is, it's still only one part of the picture. Then, there's New York. High above Manhattan sits Melania's private penthouse inside Trump Tower, a residence that feels more like a command post than an apartment. From that height, the city shrinks beneath you. The views alone cost more than most people will earn in their entire lives. What makes this space important isn't just the price tag, but the control it offers. Even while Donald Trump runs the country from Washington, Melania has often chosen New York for privacy, familiarity, and distance from constant visibility. Trump Tower gives her something the White House never could: separation, silence, and the ability to disappear when she chooses. When it comes to the White House, Melania's relationship with it says everything. Despite being the current First Lady, she reportedly spends limited time there outside of official duties. That choice isn't accidental. It reflects a clear priority: privacy, control, and living on her own terms. Even with her husband holding the most powerful office in the world, the third core residence in her life is the Bedminster Estate in New Jersey. This property trades spectacle for distance: wide land, countryside quiet, and separation from constant exposure. It's not about glamour here, it's about retreat, a place where the Trumps can step away from cameras, pressure, and noise, and exist outside the public eye. What most people don't realize is that Melania's real estate footprint stretches far beyond the United States. In her native Slovenia, she owns properties that generate an estimated $500,000 to $1 million annually in rental income. Passive, consistent, no involvement required. That means while most people spend decades trying to earn $500,000, Melania earns it yearly from just one slice of her portfolio. It's a reminder that at this level, money isn't chased. It's structured to arrive quietly, in the background, while life continues uninterrupted. Travel operates on the same scale. For Melania Trump, moving from one place to another rarely involves airports, lines, or inconvenience. Private jets replace terminals. Privacy replaces crowds. Comfort replaces compromise. And yet, what's interesting is her perspective. Trips that most people would consider once-in-a-lifetime experiences have been described by Melania herself as basic. That's not arrogance, it's adaptation. When access has no limits, your baseline shifts. Luxury stops feeling special, it becomes routine. And that shift in perception reveals the psychology of extreme wealth more clearly than any price tag ever could. But real estate and travel are only part of the picture. Because Melania Trump isn't just wealthy, she's a fashion authority. Style is where her control becomes most visible. She doesn't wear clothes to impress. She uses them to command attention. Every appearance is deliberate, composed, and unmistakable. Fashion, for her, isn't decoration, it's presence. That precision comes from her past. Long before the White House, Melania built her identity in the modeling world, working with major fashion houses, and appearing in top publications like Vogue. She learned fashion from the inside, as the subject, not the spectator. That experience shaped how she carries herself today. When Melania enters a room, people notice. Not because she tries to be seen, but because she doesn't have to. What stands out about Melania's fashion isn't just the look, it's the choice behind it. During her time as Melania Trump, she reportedly paid for her own clothing instead of using taxpayer funds. That matters. While attending constant state events and high-visibility functions, every dress, accessory, and ensemble came from her own money. No public funding, no shared bill. That decision signals independence and control in a role where most expenses could have been externalized. Her style leans unmistakably European. Designers like Dolce & Gabbana and Chanel dominate her wardrobe, reflecting both her background and her years in high fashion. These aren't trend-driven picks. They're calculated choices rooted in craftsmanship, legacy, and image. Each outfit communicates precision, not impulse. That level of wealth hasn't escaped criticism. Observers point to moments where Melania appeared disconnected from everyday concerns, like rising food or gas prices. It's not malice, it's distance. When you've lived around extreme wealth for decades, certain pressures simply don't exist in your frame of reference. That gap is the real takeaway. When the choice is between Dolce & Gabbana or Chanel for an evening event, you're living in a different universe than someone deciding whether they can afford new shoes for their kids. That's what life at the very top actually looks like. Now we get to the most revealing part of Melania Trump's life: business and income. Melania Trump isn't someone who simply married into wealth and stayed passive. Over time, she's consistently turned visibility, image, and timing into income. Her fortune isn't static. It's fed by multiple streams designed to work quietly in the background. Before politics, she moved beyond modeling and launched a skincare line in 2013. Celebrity beauty brands are common, but this wasn't about trends. It showed intent, an effort to build something independent of the runway. The project faced legal issues that eventually slowed it down, but the takeaway isn't failure, it's response. Melania didn't retreat, she adjusted. That pivot led to a jewelry line sold through QVC, bringing her aesthetic to a mass audience. The strategy was simple: scale without cheapening the image. Millions of viewers gained access to her brand without her needing to rely on luxury boutiques or exclusivity alone. Her sharpest move came during her time as First Lady. While the role itself is unpaid, Melania generated income through NFTs and licensing, earning roughly $330,000. That money didn't come from labor or operations. It came from association, her name, image, and brand attached to digital assets at the right moment. That's the pattern. When opportunity shifts, she shifts with it. Minimal effort, maximum leverage, income that arrives without noise. And that, more than any headline, explains how power actually compounds at the top. Melania expanded her brand further with the release of her memoir, Melania, which included premium editions priced as high as $150. That price point isn't for casual readers. It's aimed at collectors and loyal followers who see her name as a luxury asset. The fact that such editions exist and sell shows the strength of her personal brand and the market willing to pay for proximity to it. Speaking engagements are another major income source. Melania reportedly earned $237,000 for a single appearance with the Log Cabin Republicans. One event, one speech. That fee reflects more than words. It's about prestige, access, and the media value of her presence. Organizations aren't paying for content, they're paying for status. In 2025, she entered crypto with a meme coin called Dollar Melania, aligning with broader family moves into digital assets. It was a calculated entry into a speculative market where visibility matters more than fundamentals. This wasn't an isolated play. It fit into a larger family strategy of monetizing attention in emerging spaces. One detail that surprises many is that her son Barron Trump reportedly has a net worth exceeding $20 million, more than Melania herself. That gap highlights how the Trump family structures wealth across generations. This isn't about individual success, it's dynasty building, with assets positioned early and aggressively. We've covered the residences, the image, and the income. What remains is how Melania gives back, and how the public interprets those efforts. Because her philanthropy, like everything else around her, is layered, selective, and often misunderstood. Melania's main initiative as First Lady was Be Best, focused on children's well-being, cyberbullying, and opioid awareness. Those priorities weren't symbolic. They targeted issues directly affecting millions of families and positioned her work around vulnerability rather than visibility. Less known is how much she did off-camera. Melania reportedly made 32 private visits to hospitals and orphanages, deliberately avoiding press or public credit. No announcements, no photo ops, just presence. In an era where charity is often performative, that restraint stands out. That approach extended to how she handled the role itself. Like previous First Ladies, Melania took no salary. Every official duty, ceremonies, diplomacy, public appearances, was unpaid. Whatever criticisms exist, money was never the incentive. Family consistently came first. Melania prioritized her son Baron Trump, even delaying her move to Washington so he could finish school uninterrupted. That decision reflected control over optics and a clear hierarchy of values. Public perception, however, remains sharply divided. Critics describe her as distant or motivated by financial security, while supporters point to her composure and independence. Online culture amplifies the contrast, often portraying her life as almost mythical in its wealth and glamour. She has directly addressed claims of marrying for money, emphasizing her success before meeting Donald Trump. Long before politics, she was an established international model with major campaigns and publications to her name. Her financial trajectory reflects that climb, from modest beginnings to a fortune estimated in the tens of millions. Whether admired or criticized, the transformation is undeniable. Melania Trump occupies a tier where nine-figure homes are normal, six-figure speaking fees are routine, and everyday financial stress simply doesn't exist. Melania Trump exists at a level most people will never touch, where wealth compounds quietly, image becomes leverage, and privacy is power. Love her or criticize her, the structure of her life is intentional, disciplined, and built to last. If this breakdown changed how you see power, money, or influence, like the video, subscribe to Zenith, and comment how do you feel about the current First Lady. More stories like this are coming, and the next one goes even deeper.